Hi, I'm Kim Eddleston with Entrepreneur and Innovation Exchange, and I'm here today with Professor Steve Golden, who's in the Entrepreneurship and Innovation Department of Northeastern University. He's a serial entrepreneur with lots and lots of experience in new product development. He led a division at Polaroid. He has created multiple products for Best Buy as well as other companies, and he's going to be giving us advice on new product development. So thank you for being here with me today, Steve.
Thank you for inviting me.
So I have to ask you, what are some of the mortal sins you see companies and entrepreneurs make when it comes to new product development?
That's a great question, and it's actually a question we spend a lot of time in our classes speaking to. There's really 5 that are top of mind for me, and I'd like to take them in order. The very first thing that happens with most entrepreneurs is they get really excited about their project, their solution, and they fail to recognize if there's really a market need. I like to say, does anybody really care? We spend a lot of time developing really neat ideas for often legitimate problems, but in the end, the end consumer doesn't hurt enough. And I'd like to give you one example. From back a little bit in my career, I worked with a client in developing a project for something called videotapes. And I know this may be dating myself a little bit, but we all have videotapes. We have videotapes of our children, our family events, and we probably have them stored in the closet somewhere. This group of executives came together and they licensed some technology from a local university to convert the videotapes into compact discs. It was a really, really cool idea. They could very quickly take the tape, digitize it, and create this compact disc. Now you would think every consumer that had videotapes would be concerned. So the issue with videotapes is they degrade over time. So as they sit in your closet, slowly they'll start to break down. Eventually they're unusable. So you would think every consumer would want to save those precious memories and digitize them. Take the videotape and convert it to a digital compact disc. We launched the company. We raised several rounds of funding, developed a whole conversion facility, went to market, and really didn't spend a lot of time talking to our customers. While it was a legitimate problem, technically, not a lot of people are laying awake at night worrying about the videotapes. It didn't hurt a lot. And we spent a lot of money developing this new solution for a problem that didn't really exist. So I would say, number one, my first concern is, do we have a legitimate market need? Does the pain hurt enough for people to actually want your product or service? Second thing I think often happens with innovators and entrepreneurs is they don't really understand the crux of the problem. What is the real problem? We often try to solve these huge problems and don't end up solving anything at all because we're so out of focus on what the real issue is. In my classes, we do some exercise, a lot of ideation exercises, one of which is called mind mapping, where you keep asking why, until you can't ask why anymore. And we call that a terminal node. At the terminal node, it's either actionable or it's a dead end. If it's actionable, then you have a legitimate problem. I often use examples such as the MBTA in Boston, our transit system. It's broken. It's been broken for years. Well, you can't fix the entire transit system. But if you were to suggest to me that the toll booths or the ticket booths have problems and they're always broken, I could fix that. That would be a terminal node. In aggregate, I may eventually fix the transit system, but I can't do it all at once. So you really need to focus on what is the real problem? What is the crux of the problem? Or we call it the terminal node. A third thing, and this is kind of focused at engineers. My background's in consumer packaged goods. I build products, I design products. I work with a lot of engineers and product development people here and in Asia. And we tend to just want to keep adding stuff. More is better. Let's add another feature, put another gadget in, and we continually add. And eventually we lose focus of what the solution's supposed to be. And it's that fallacy that more is better that we fall into as a trap. So I like to say, if you can avoid more is better and keep it simple, you'll probably have a better chance of being successful. And an example would be Apple and Steve Jobs. simplicity in the design, simplicity and ease of use. That's what made them successful. In fact, early on, there wasn't a lot of technology or innovations from Apple other than design and ease of use. They didn't invent the MP3. They didn't invent the MP3 player. They just made it easier to use. The fourth one is, and this is probably my biggest pet peeve, sometimes when we have an idea, entrepreneurs and innovators, we're so excited about it. We think, here it is, I'm going to solve this problem. And I drive forward to develop the solution, to manufacture the product. And I forget to talk to the customer. I forget to validate my solution. And sometimes I may talk to the customer and just not listen to the customer. So it's either not talking to them or talking and not listening. The more you can talk to your customer, the higher the frequency in talking to your customer, the better your results. At the beginning, in the middle, and even after you've shipped. How's it doing? Is it meeting their needs? Is there something I could do better or differently? And then I guess the last one, and I've fallen into this trap myself, I call it falling in love with the baby.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a situation where, as an innovator, you get really excited and you get so engaged, you just kind of lose sight of what you're doing. And one of the examples I use in my class is it's a product that was developed. It's a STEM product, and it was a really exciting product. It was a little RC car that collected data, put a lot of the technology into it, so it has sensors. It'll tell you how fast the car is going and what direction it's going and how much power it's using, how many times it crashes. And we tied this product into a software application that actually taught children how to do math. It collected the data, it put the data on the screen, it helped them with their algebra. We created graphs so you could learn how to graph with the data. It was a STEM toy.
This is brilliant.
Yeah, it was really,
I need
really.
it for my daughter.
I still love this product. I still love this product. And one of the things when we met with our client, we showed them the initial concepts at the beginning of the process, and they said, "Wow, it's very cool. It's an RC car, collects data. How fast does it go?" And we said, "Well, it goes 12 feet per second." And they said, "Oh, wow, that's unbelievable. That's great. That's fast. That is really fast." And so we proceeded along and we developed the software, we developed the application, we developed the hardware, we did all the packaging. We were actually in our P1 run, our production run, so it's like the final chance you have to shut down. And we sent the samples, some prototype samples, down to the client for a final test. And after about a week to 10 days, they called back and they canceled the order. Yeah, it turns out the car was too fast. It turns out that there's some latencies, some technical things, and you couldn't actually drive the car. It kept crashing. And the client canceled the order, and our engineers went back and looked at it and said, "Yeah, it goes really fast. We don't know how to slow it down." And so we put it on the shelf. And every year I pick it up and I want to do it again, as you just did. You got really excited about it, but it doesn't work. The concept is brilliant, but the product, the solution doesn't work. And it's my baby. And I even to this day, I would love to do it. I just have to know when to stop and put it away. And I call that falling in love with the baby. So those are my 5 mortal sins. Not fixing a real customer need, solving problems that are low value and not focused, adding stuff, continuing to add stuff, more is better. Forgetting to validate, forgetting to talk to your customer. Had we taken this product and given it to customers early on, we would have realized very quickly it's too fast. You need to slow it down. But we didn't. We just drove on and we built it. And the last point, and probably the most important, is don't fall in love with the baby. Listen to your customer, talk to your customer, get their feedback, and move on it.
Well, I hope your baby gets adopted by someone, because it is a brilliant idea.
Still love the idea. Still love the idea.
So thank you so much again, Dr. Steve Golden.
Great. Well, thank you for having me, and hopefully that was helpful.
It was very helpful. Thank
Great.
you.
Thank
Again,
you.
this is Kim Eddleston with Entrepreneur and Innovation Exchange. Thank you.